White students here have to work harder to pay for black kids. What is that all about? So I, white man, have to play for black people. Why?
Society has pandered.
Of course we pander to blacks. They're in every TV commercial. They get more privileges to come into society. They come into every college on preferential with lower test scores. You can't ever say anything negative. You can lose your job. You have your entire life obliterated if you say something racist. And yet we have to hear about how racist we are. How about you take responsibility for your own actions instead of blaming the white man?
When people have racist views, they oftentimes don't want accountability, to the point that they would argue it and they would have people around them basically supporting their views. They get all gassed up, they get all confident. But the truth of the matter is, if they were in the other person's shoes, the person who wanted reparations for basically their generational trauma or things that have happened to their people, they would be thinking the exact same thing. The dude in the video is not saying, hey, white people, you are a bad race and you should pay for that debt. He's basically saying, you are benefiting from what happened to my forefathers and what happened to my people when they were slaves, and as a result, you have generated or accumulated generational wealth which you have increased, and because of what happened initially there, let's call it like a down payment, as bad as that is to compare to slavery, you've made a down payment and deposit at the expense of someone else's ethnicity, and so now it's turned into something else, and those people have been cast aside, thrown to the side, and now we're in the future, the current day, and you're going to look at that situation and be like, hey, why should I pay you something? Why should I give you anything? But you're living off the profit of what your forefathers did, which was inhumane, e.g. the technology, the advances, the colonization, the laws, everything, society. And it's not just Australia, it's not just America. Nearly every nation has done it to some sort of degree. So it's not even a black or white thing. However, in this case, there's no accountability here. That gentleman's not going, hey, I don't have a better solution. I don't want to be held accountable for basically what my other forefathers done because I didn't do it. But yet I want to still have it, but not give to you what you may be owed based on what's happened to your forefathers and also based on what's happening to you currently, that you have to work harder than me because my forefathers worked evil against your people. If you get upset at that feeling of reparations, I want to understand, is it because you feel that you have to own up to something that you didn't do? We're not saying you did something. We're saying your forefathers or someone who is direct in relation with you did something, so you have a benefit continuing today where you live, the prosperity. That's what we're saying. Okay, so would it not make sense that some sort of debt or ownership of that accountability should be on yours? Because if you don't want the accountability, then just be like, well, this is not mine, someone else gave it to me. But if you take what they've given you based on dirty money type thing, then you have to give some of that dirty money back. It's not like, oh, I can have this money, I didn't do it, but yeah, it's mine, but I didn't do anything. You can see there's some sort of evilness there, some sort of non-accountability and just owning up to it. Let's just flip it for a second. If you were a father and you smashed up someone's home, then kicked them out, then started living that home and built it into something different, and those kids and that family who was kicked out now have passed on and they have other generations. And then you, the criminal in a sense, the colonizer, you know what I'm trying to say, right? Has now got multiple houses based on that single investment you had, and that other family's still doing bad. Not to say that they shouldn't keep on trying and working and becoming the best version of themselves and giving up, but let's be honest, they had a harder way to start their life, and so they have to work hard now. And in fact, some of the situations and laws benefit you because you have that house and multiple houses. You have power now. You have status. And then that poor family who your forefathers kicked out a couple years ago are coming back and saying, hey, that's our house, and we want interest on what you've done. And then for me to look at them and be like, I didn't do anything. You're standing on the actual house which their dad owned, their family owned. And you're saying you haven't done anything wrong. You may not have kicked them out the house, but you continued and you propagated and you benefited from the actual laws of the land which keep you in power at their expense, which keeps them in the dark and keeps you in the light. Simple as that, everyone gets it. So I don't know, what are your thoughts, guys? On this channel, we have tough talks, okay? It's not about hating, it's about accountability and saying what it is and letting the truth come out, okay? Black, white, yellow, green, I don't care. Racism can go both ways. What I am saying is write your comments in the comments down below. Tell me what you think. Are reparations something that, non-Indigenous people shouldn't have to be accountable for, or black people should just stand up and be like, look, stop being a loser, step up? Or should it be something that it's like, hey, there's an issue here and I'm at a loss based on your forefathers and based on what you had today and what you continue to give someone else at my expense? What are your thoughts? Guys, if you want to support, make sure you follow this account, repost it, and comment your belief system, whether you agree or not. I want to know what you guys are thinking, and we're going to open up this conversation about reparations and accountability and what it should look like, okay? I'm still open to learning. I'm not saying I know everything. Let's go, guys. Let's go.